morning. Today we are going to start our session by revising Pythagoras theorem. First, we use Pythagoras theorem in the right angle triangle, and this is a relation between the hypotenuse, and the hypotenuse is the side opposite to the right angle, and this is the longest side. And if you have a triangle something like A, B, C, the relation between these three sides is AC to the power 2 equals AB to the power 2 plus BC to the power 2. After that, if you want one of these two sides, like AB to the power 2, that means you are going to move BC to the other side to make it AC power 2 minus BC power 2. And if you need BC to the power 2, you will do the same, AC to the power 2 minus AB power 2. To make it easy, عشان نخليها أسهل, the hypotenuse make plus, and any side of the two sides of the right angle make minus. And to get one of them, getting the square root. يعني أنا لو محتاج AC only, you have to get the square root. For example, for the first example, he asked you to find the side referred by y. Y, this is not the hypotenuse, so do the hypotenuse power 2, which is 13 power 2 minus 25 power 2, and this will give you y to the power 2. And if you work out them, 13 to the power 2 minus 5 to the power 2, this will be 144. So you can get only y by getting the square root of that 144 to get 12 centimeter. For the second question, he asked you to find Q. Q also, this is not the hypotenuse, so I can get Q to the power 2 by 17 power 2 minus 15 to the power 2. And if you work this out by using your calculator, Q to the power 2, this will be 64. So only Q equals square root of that 64, and you will get 8 centimeter. By another form, أنا ممكن كنت أحسب Q directly by, this is the square root of 17 power 2 minus 15 power 2 in one step to get that 8 directly. And now we are going to move to page 1 in our booklet, page 1 in the geometry part. First, we have to remember very important notes. The first one, the sum of the measures of the interior angles of any polygon, polygon means figure or shape, equals n minus 2 multiplied by 180, where n is the number of sides. Something like, تعالى نفتكر مع بعض, لو أنا بتكلم about the triangle, that means n equal 3. So the sum of the angles of the triangle equals 3 minus 2 multiplied by 180. So the sum of the measures of the interior angles of the triangle, this will be 180 degree. Another one, طب لو أنا عندي حاجة شكلها كده, this is called quadrilateral. The quadrilateral, this is a shape forming from 4 sides and contains 4 interior angles. So the sum of the measures of the interior angles of the quadrilateral, n, which is 4 minus 2 multiplied by 180, which is equal to multiplied 180 to get 360 degrees, and so on. The second point, the measure of each one, the measure of each one of the interior angle, this is angle, Please correct that word. The angle in a regular polygon. Regular means the sides are equal and the angles are equal. That means the regular polygon, this is the figure, has sides equal and the angles are equal. And the measure of each one علشان اجيب كل واحدة once ان انا عرفت التوتال بتاعهم كلهم divided that sum by n. For example, for the equilateral triangle I can divide 180 by 3 to get only one angle, which is 60 degrees. For the quadrilateral, if we have a regular quadrilateral, this will be a square. So I can divide 360 by 4 to get only one angle, which is equal 90 degrees. And now we need to revise another point. The ray drawn from the midpoint. Midpoint is the point located at the middle of a side of a triangle. Parallel to another side, bisect the third. For example, if I have a triangle like this, and I located the midpoint, that means that part equal to that part. If I refer to that side by AB, and D is the midpoint of that AB, and I draw a line segment starting from D to parallel to another side, and these arrows refer to parallel, then I reach to another midpoint. يعني أنا هوصل to midpoint تانية. That mean if that side which is called AC equals 10, then each part will be 5 and 5. Another point. The line segment joining the two midpoints of two sides in a triangle is parallel to a third and its length equal half the length of that side. For example, in that drawing in your booklet, AED is the triangle, C is the midpoint of the first, B is the midpoint of the second, and I can get BC equals half of its opposite side, which is AD. Or I can write this by another form. ممكن أكتبها as a ratio. The ratio between BC and ED. BC represent only one part, so AD it's double. That means if BC equals 10 centimeter, so ED will be 20 centimeter, and so on. If ED equals 40 centimeter, so BC this will be 20 centimeter. This is for that ratio. We can say that by another form. أنا ممكن أقول ده بشكل تاني. AD is double of that BC, and we can refer to that 2 as 2 over 1. ممكن أكتبها as 2 over 1. So the ratio between ED and BC, this will be 2 to 1. That means if you know AD equals 100 centimeter, so BC this will be half of it, 50 centimeter, and so on. So we can write the ratio as a fraction or by using these symbols. Another point I need to revise with you. We studied before something is called corresponding angles located by the letter F. We studied before something is called alternate angles referred by letter Z. The interior angles referred by U letter. For the first part, here we have BC and ED are two parallel sides. So I can write BC parallel to AD. And we can get these three relations between the angles. Measure of the angle ABC where is ABC? ABC located here, equals to measure of the angle AED, which is located here. And they are forming F letter, something like this. So these two angles are equal in measure. I can form another one from the other side like this. The angle which is called ACB equals to measure of the angle D. They are two corresponding angles. For the second point, measure of the angle CBD, this is the angle CBD, equals to measure of the angle BDE. Where is BDE? BDE located here. So these two angles forming Z letter, so they are called alternate angles and they are equal in measure. The last one, measure of the angle EBC. Where is EBC? Measure of the angle EBC, this is EBC, and measure of the angle AED, which is here. They are not equal, but the sum of them equals 180. So if you know the first equals 70, I can get the second 180 minus 70 to get that angle's 110. Let's solve the following examples for the same drawing. Please pay attention with me in this example. If BC equals 10, so I can find the length of DE, which is 20, because ED is double of that BC. If DE equals 10, then BC this will be half of it. What is the reason? إيه السبب؟ Because C is the midpoint, B is the midpoint, C is the midpoint of AD, B is the midpoint of AE. So BC will be parallel to ED and equal half the length of it. Third one, if measure of the angle CBD, this will be 50 degree. So I can find the measure of the angle BDE, which is also 50 degree, because they are two alternate angles. Next one, if measure of the angle ABC equals 70 degree, find measure of the angle BED. BED is located here, and BED and ABC forming F letter, so the measure of the angle BED equals 70 degree. The last one, if measure of the angle BED, where is that BED? BED, that one equals 70. He asked you to find CBE, that one. These two angles forming U letter, so the sum of them equals 180. So I can get CBE by subtracting 70 from that 180 to get 110 degrees. And now we are going to move our first lesson in second prep, which is the medians of the triangles. That means we are going to study something is called medians located inside the triangles. Nothing is called medians of the square. Nothing is called medians of the rectangle. Nothing is called medians of a rhombus. So we are going to study something special for the triangle, which is called the medians. First, let's take the definition of that median. The median of the triangle is a line segment. That means I can find the length of it. يعني أنا ممكن أقول the median equals 7 centimeters and so on. How we can draw that median? The median drawn from any vertex. So let's move to our triangle. A and C and B are the three vertices of the triangle. So if I draw from each vertex of them a line segment to the midpoint of its opposite side, so I'll draw the median. For example, here D is the midpoint of BC, so if I draw a line segment like AD starting from A to the midpoint of the opposite side, which is BC, so I find AD is a median. I can get the opposite sides. ازاي ممكن اعرف مين opposite to مين؟ For example, if you want to get the opposite side for the vertex A, please hide that A. لو أنا خبيت A, then the opposite side will be C, the other two sides. If you want to find the opposite side for the vertex C, hide C, so the opposite side will be AB. If you need to find the opposite side of the vertex B, so hide B, remove that B, so the remainders will be AC. So AC is the opposite side of that B. So علشان كده أنا أقدر أقول for any triangle there exist three medians of different lengths. أنا معرفش length of each one، لسه هنتعلم. And in that drawing I can identify the medians. تعالوا نكتب مع بعض medians. The medians are first one starting from A to the midpoint of the opposite side, which is D. So AD is the first median, and AD is a line segment. Please draw the line segment above AD. Next one starting from C. The midpoint of the opposite side to C is H, so CH is the second median. The third one, BE, because we start from the vertex B to the midpoint of its opposite side, which is E. زي ما احنا شايفين, the 3 points are concurrent, and the meaning of the word concurrent, that means the three medians intersect at one point, which is البوينت اللي هم خبطوا بعض فيها كان اسمها M, and M is called هنسميها point of concurrence. يبقى هنا أنا محتاج أقول كده the three medians intersect at only one point, and that point is called point of concurrence. Here we have an important theorem about that point of concurrence. Let's read this together. The point of concurrence of the medians of the triangle divides each median in ratio 1 to 2 when you're coming from the base. That means, for example, if I have a triangle like this, A, B, C, and I draw a median from A to BC, something like AD, that means D is the midpoint of BC. If we locate the point of concurrence on AD, لو أنا حطيت ال point of concurrence هنا اللي احنا كنا سميناها قبل كده say M. So MD not equal to AM. They are not equal. But MD equals half AM. That means the ratio between that part to the second part equals 1 to 2. And he told you that if you drawn from the base, يعني أنا لما هتحرك from the base to the vertex, يبقى ال first part هنا is 1, the second part is 2. That means if I moved from the vertex from the top to the bottom, then the point of concurrence divide the median in ratio 2 to 1. So the first part of ratio 1, the second part of ratio 2. For example, if MD equals 2 centimeter, then AM will be double of it, that will be 4. 2 multiplied by 2. Another example. If MD equals 5 centimeter, so AM will be double of it, which is 10 centimeter. Another example. If AM equals 20 centimeter, so MD equals 10 centimeter. So the first part, which is MD, have the second AM. If I moved from the base to the vertex, but if I moved from the vertex to the base, the ratio will switch to make it 2 to 1. تعالوا نقرأ كده by another view. The point of concurrence of the medians of the triangle divides each median in ratio 2 to 1 from the vertex. So 1 to 2 from the base, 2 to 1 from the vertex. You can represent this by, you have 2 eyes and 1 mouth. So if you move from the mouth to the eye, this will be 1 to 2. If you move from the eyes to the mouth, this will be 2 to 1. You can represent this as a tricky way. Please kindly pause the video and try to solve this with me. Take 3 minutes before getting the answer on the screen. The first question. The point of concurrence divide each median in ratio a number to another one from the vertex. From the vertex, that means we started from the eyes to the mouth. So I have 2 eyes, so 2 to 1. Next, the point of concurrence divide each median in ratio 3 to a number from the base. If you move from the base to the vertex, this will be 1 and this will be double of it. That means if the first part is 3, the second part will be 6. Next, the point of concurrence divide each median in ratio 2 to gap from the base. From the base, this will be half of the top, 2 to 4, the double of it. The last one. The point of concurrence divide its median in ratio 0.5 to gap from the base. From the base that you need double of that half, 2 multiplied 0.5, which is equal 1. Next, kindly pause the video and try to solve this before me and take 3 minutes for solving this. For the first part, he asked you to find the relation between CM and HM. For the first part, CM, this is apart from our median. And this is the longest part, which referred its ratio will be 2. HM, this is the smaller part of the same median, which represent to 1 part from the ratio. So, if you want to write the relation between them, put a fraction like this, put the ratio represent CM in the numerator, which is 2, and put the representation for HM in the denominator, which is 2 over 1. Next example. AD represents the median, which represent 3 parts of our ratio, because the top represent 2 parts, the bottom represent 1 part, so the median represent 3 parts of our ratio. AD represent 3 parts, AM represent 2 parts, so the ratio between them, AD represent 3 parts in the numerator, 2 represent the second part of AM. Next, AD represent 3 part of our ratio, MD represent 1. AM represent 2 ports, AD represent 3 ports. EM represent only 1 port, BE represent 3 ports. CH represent 3 ports, HM represent only 1 port. And now kindly pause the video and try to solve with me and take for these two examples 3 minutes. Here we have ME equal 3 centimeters. MC equals 8 centimeters. So he asked you to find AM. AM is double of ME. So AM equals 2 by 3, which is equal 6. MD half of that MC, so I can multiply half by 8, or I can divide 8 by 2 to get that 4. After that, he asked you about the relation between ME and AE. ME that represent only 1 port, AE represent 3 ports. By another method, ME equals 3 centimeters and AE will be 9 centimeters. If you simplify this, you will get the same answer, which is 1 over 3. Next one, MC represent 2 parts of our ratio, CD represent 3 parts of our ratio. Next example. LZ, that means all of that median. LZ, this is 15 centimeter. YM 18 centimeter, XY that part equals 20 centimeter. So I asked you to find NL. NL represent a part from the median. So NL equals 1 over 3 of the median, which is LZ, and he gave you LZ equal 15, so NL equal 1 over 3 multiplied by that 15 to get 5. So the first part NL will be 5 centimeter. He asked you to find NY. NY is the second or the part represented by 2 parts from our ratio. He gave you YM. YM, our median, equals 18 centimeter. He asked you to find NY. NY equals 2 over 3 from our median, which is YM. So NY equals 2 over 3 multiplied by 18 to get this as 12 centimeters. Parameter of the triangle NLY. The parameter of any shape means make sum to the outer frame. NLY, this is our triangle. Here, don't forget, ما تنساش XY equals 20 centimeter. So YL will be 10 centimeter. The first side, 10 plus. NL equals 5 centimeter plus NY equals 12. To get all of these numbers, this will be 27 centimeters. For the next one, try to get the idea. After that, copy the proof with me. First, احنا محتاجين هنا يعني دايما هنفكر في الفكرة بتاعة الexample. بعد كده you have to write the proof. First, in the opposite figure, AD equals 6 centimeter. AD كله. BM equals 6 centimeter. Find the parameter of the triangle EMD. EMD shaded by the red color. The parameter means the sum of the outer frame. For the first, AD equals 6 centimeter and AD represent a median in that triangle because LD is the midpoint. So If you need to find only part of that median, you can divide 6 by 3 to get only one part 2. And AM represent two parts. So AM, this will be 2 multiplied by 2. The first part will be 4. So MD, only one part by 2 centimeter. This is the first part. He gave you another part, BM equals 6 centimeter. Once we have EB is another method, another median. EB is another median in the same triangle, and BM, this is represent two parts of our ratio. So I can divide BM by 2, 6 divided by 2 to get 3, and 3 represent only one part. So EM equals only one part, which is equal 3. So here I have the length of two sides, 2 and 3. We need the last one. You have to pay attention on the board. E is the midpoint of AC. D is the midpoint of CB. We studied together the line segment AD. The joining between two midpoints equal half the length of the third one. علشان كده AD, this will be 9 divided by 2, which is equal 4.5 centimeter. once ان انا عندي ال 3 sides كلهم، فانا اقدر اجيب البارامتر بتاع كل الحاجات دي. بس احنا لازم نكتب هنا by using the proof. So copy the proof with me. First, since here D is the midpoint of BC, so أنا أقدر أقول كده therefore AD is a median. Since here E is the midpoint of AC, therefore I can say that BE is a median. So علشان اقول كل الريشيوز اللي احنا قلناها دي بقى، فهقول كده since the two medians intersect each other, since AD intersect BE at the point M, therefore M is the point of concurrence. Therefore أنا هقدر أقول بقى AD once إن هو كان 6 centimeter, I can get MD by dividing 6 by 3 to get only one part, which is equal 2 centimeters. Next part, BM can equal 6 centimeters, so EM equals 6 divided by 2 to get 3 centimeters. Therefore أنا هقدر أكتب كده ED is equal half of AB. This will be 9 over 2. This will be 4.5 centimeter. So the parameter equals 2 plus 3 plus 4.5 to get that 9.5 centimeters. Now move to page 5 to work out with me. Now we are in page 5. Skip the previous part. Here we have a theorem in the right angle triangle. the length of the median drawn from the vertex of the right angle equal half the length of the hypotenuse. The right angle triangle is also a triangle. If we find a median drawn from that vertex, that means the median equals half the hypotenuse. That means the hypotenuse equals twice or double of that median. For example, if I have a triangle like this is 5 centimeters and I draw a median from the right angle. So if I refer to the median by x, so x equals half of that 5. To get x equals 2.5 centimeters. Another example. If we have a right angle triangle like this, and this is 6, this is 8, and I draw something like this. I'm asking for BD, or the length of that BD. BD is a median in the triangle, and BD is a median drawn from the right angle, because measure of the angle B equals 90. So BD equals half of that AC. So you can find AC. How could we get AC? AC, I can get that AC by using Pythagorean theorem, because here I have the length of the two sides of the right angle, and I can work out AC directly by square root of 6 to the power 2 plus 8 to the power 2, which is equal 10. So I can get that BD equals 5 centimeters. Here we have the converse of that theorem. The converse means if the length of a median drawn from a vertex of a triangle, you know that لقيناه half the length of the opposite side, then the angle in that vertex equal 90 degree or right angle. For example, if I draw a triangle like this and I don't know measure of the angle be 90 or not, but here I found that BH is a median and BH equals 7 centimeters and AC was 14 centimeters. يبقى in that case, if BH, which is a median, and the length of that BH equals half the length of that AC, because 7 equals half that 14. يبقى لو أنا لقيت إن length of the median half the length of the hypotenuse, this is not the hypotenuse. ده مش hypotenuse till now. لو أنا لقيت إن length of the median equal half the length of the opposite side, so I can say that measure of the angle B should be equals 90 degree. The last step, corollary. This is apart from our theorem. The length of the side opposite to the angle of measure 30 degree in the right angle triangle. First, the triangle that contains angle of measure 30 and the other is 60 is called 30 and 60 triangle. The triangle that contains an angle of measure 30 and 60 is called اسمه 30 and 60 triangle. أيوة هنلاقي فيه ايه ده بقى؟ قال لي the side opposite to an angle of measure 30, for example ABC is a triangle, measure angle C is 30, the opposite side for that C equals AB, so ماله؟ قال لي إن ال AB which is opposite to 30 equals half the length of the hypotenuse, which is AC. So I can say that AB equals half AC, or by another method I can say that AC double of that AB. another step احنا درسناها من شوية. هو كان بيقول لي once in BD is a median, the median drawn from the right angle half the length of the hypotenuse. So BD equals half the length of AC, and AC twice or double of that BD. So I can say that AB equals to BD equals half of that AC.